tonight. So what do you want to know? You want to talk about his? What is happening to this world? Something very simple, yet very important for us to reduce our worries and fear. So the Buddha has given this as very important subject for us to concentrate, because the teachings of the Buddha is not just to come and listen or to talk. Certain things we have to understand. That understanding supports for us to get rid of many imaginations, suspicions, fear, worries that we always maintain. So we are not happy. There is something for us to worry in our life, throughout our life. No one is free. Whether we are rich or poor or educated or not makes no difference. But if we can understand things properly, then we can reduce a lot the fear and worries and suspicion. After that, maintain some sort of calmness, satisfaction in our life. There are 5 points mentioned by the Buddha. No doubt you might have heard earlier. But the advice given by the Buddha is to contemplate or concentrate again and again and again and again. Otherwise, realization never appears in our mind. Remain as theories, some sort of concept, but no realization. What are these 5 points mentioned by the Buddha? The name of this particular sutra is called Abhinna Vacchavekkhitabba Sutra. Abhinna means always. Vacchavekkhitabba, concentrate. The sutra uttered by the Buddha for us to concentrate always. Abhinna Vacchavekkhitabba Sutra. Now there he has mentioned 5 points for us to concentrate. Jara dhammo mi jarang anatitoti abhinnam paccavekkitabba. Vyadi dhammo mi vyadin anatitoti abhinnam paccavekkitabba. Marana dhammo mi maranam anatitoti abhinnam paccavekkitabba. Kammassa mi kammadayado kammayoni kammabandhu kammapatisarano kammang satte vibhajati adidang hinappani. Sabbehi me piyehi manapehi nana bhavo vina bhavoti abhinnam paccavekkitabba. All these are the 5 points. No doubt you have heard, you can remember, but you do not concentrate very deeply. That is problem. That is called practicing. When you concentrate and take this seriously into our minds, then fear, worry, suspicion slowly reduce. The first one. Jara dhammo mi jarang anatitoti abhinnam paccavekkitabba. We have to concentrate that we have not gone beyond decay, old age. We are not free from old age. If there is anything that exists in this world, whether it is human life or any other forms of living beings or plant life or element, everything that which exists is going on, decaying, declining. But we don't think this. We want to stop it by adapting all sorts of methods to stop this decay. But is there anybody in this world who can stop it? The Buddha, who taught us, also shown to others, explained to others how his physical body is going on decaying. Yes, he told the disciples, you have seen me for more than 40 years ago, 45 years ago. And look at my body now. He said, now my body is just like a worn out bullock cart. Because those days no motor cars. He used only bullock cart. When its owner cannot move, worn out bullock cart, cannot move my body, cannot walk. That is the Buddha's body. One who gained enlightenment, supreme wisdom and purity and all the good qualities in this world, and not free from the universal law. No one can go against the existing universal law. It is not created by God or Buddha or anybody. This is the nature of the existence. So if we can concentrate earlier when we are young, then we never worry when we see we are getting old. Otherwise, what a pity, my hair is now turning into grey color, white color, and wrinkles are there. And then worry. Cannot see, cannot hear, no teeth. We worry. But earlier we had to think. It is natural. Every living being has to face this. Otherwise, no existence. Therefore, we should not try to maintain this body without facing this natural phenomena. That is called understanding of the Dharma. It is Dharma. Dharma means natural law. Subjected, every living thing. So it is subjected to this natural phenomenon. When we are young, if we think, then our worries disappear. When we start to grow old and old. It is meditation. That is the most important meditation. Nowadays people are talking, arguing all sorts of things about meditation. Some people say Vipassana is the only meditation, some others say Samatha is the only one. They are arguing just like two religions now. Vipassana group and the other group. They talk rubbish. In fact, they create more damages to Buddhism. I like one Vipassana, not others. These are the things the Buddha has advised us to concentrate. We can apply for both. Samatha to control the mind, Vipassana to gain wisdom and understanding. So, it is not the label what we need. We must know the method how to control the mind. We must know the method how to gain the realization. This is the most important point here the Buddha has advised us to practice. If you don't like to do this, then we have to get ready to worry and to cry and grumble when all these problems come to us. No one is free. That is the first item. Then, Vyadi dhammom vyadin anatitoti abhinnang paccavekkhitatta. When we are healthy, we have to think, although we are healthy now, but we are not free from any kinds of sicknesses. Sicknesses can come to us or appear at any time. There is no age limit for that. Whether rich or poor, educated or not, religious or not, the physical body is not religious. Physical body is not educated. Physical body is not holy. Physical body doesn't know whether this person is religious or not. So we have wrong idea about our body. Because I think this is my body. That is the problem. The troubles and worries come to us because of that. Mine. This is not my body. We crave, we have strong attachment, and this is my body. The very day when we withdraw that idea, this is mine, and then worries never appear. Because this is not belong to me. I cannot maintain as I like. Body always goes against us. So if it is mine, why I cannot control it? Why I cannot stop getting old if it is mine? Why I cannot stop all the sicknesses, not to appear any kind of sicknesses? It is not mine. But we adapted this idea that this is my body. Because of that concept of mine, we worry. We fight. We quarrel to protect. Now this will become the cause of all our problems. When sicknesses come to us, nowadays, cancer is a very common sickness among the young people also. About 20, 30 years young people also. Something is wrong somewhere in our way of life. That is why it has become very common. But nobody knows what is the cause. Medical science also cannot find out where the mistake. Why these cells turn into a tumor and turn into cancer. No one can explain. Either atmosphere or the food, what we take, the way how we behave, something is wrong somewhere. That is cancer. But there are many other sicknesses, whether we take precaution or not, naturally, many sicknesses appear. The nature of the physical body is such that 4 elements and energy combined together as a bundle. For that we say body. When we separate these 4 elements and energies, there is nothing to point out as body. The body disappears, turns into element. By taking different shapes like humans, animals and all sorts of living beings, visible or tangible body appears. It is a bundle of elements and energy. But the mind is controlling this, using this mental energy. And mental energy related to life process or life energy. Karma is behind. 3 things are there. Mental energy, life energy, karmic energy. But we cannot see. We cannot see the mind, we cannot see the life, we cannot see the current. We can see only body. For this we say, this is life. This is not life. It is a wrong idea. That is why we worry. That is why we misuse this. Do a lot of damages, harm to others to protect this. But if that understanding is there, we never misuse. Because the mind forces the life. Both are energy. Then the life and the mind use the body as a weapon to do certain things, to carry here and there, to run, to walk, to eat, do so many things. The mind and body mind and the life energy use this body. They are living here, dwelling place. This is a house. Then, when these elements cannot cooperate with each other, heat energy, motion, and solidity and fluidity, four. These four must cooperate each other. When there is a friction, clashes, imbalance, then the sicknesses start. We never think in this way. External germs, virus, bacteria enter into this. If the resistance power is weakened in the body, they support to create some new sicknesses. If there are no external germs or virus or bacteria, body itself, disagreement, imbalance of these elements, then creates sickness. You can understand this very clearly when you go to a sensei, Chinese sensei, examine the pulse. This system was there for thousands of years in India and China and many other countries to study the sickness, the cause of sickness, pulse, heartbeat. Then after that, he said, oh, you have more heat in your body. That is the cause of your sickness. Another person, he said, oh, you have more wind. Pong. You have more pong. That is the cause of it. This is the ancient diagnosis of sicknesses. But when you go to a doctor, modern Western doctor, they take blood test, they take X-ray, they use all modern equipment and all sorts of instruments, but they say something else. They never say wind or heat. To them, wind cannot create sickness, heat cannot create sickness. But wind and heat in the body go out of order because of certain sickness in the body. Now let us take, we get fever. Our body is very hot. You say, I am suffering from fever. So I want to take medicine for my fever. But fever is not a sickness. Fever is to indicate, to understand that body is suffering from some sickness. Actually, fever is very important, otherwise we do not know. So fever and ache. Ache is not a sickness. Pain and ache indicate that something is wrong somewhere. Therefore, our own diagnosis is wrong. When doctors, specialists examine the whole body, then they will find out where the mistake is. Not the wind or not the heat, but certain things. It is natural. The Buddha, some people don't believe actually. How can he get sick, such a holy man, enlightened man, the Buddha? He had to suffer from 12 kinds of sicknesses. Explained to his disciples. He had a backache. Throughout his life he had to suffer. No cure for it. Finally he died. If you use this simple language, he died because of the stomach complaint, dysentery, purging blood. For 3 months, he said, actually, by using my psychic power, temporarily I stopped this. Otherwise, earlier, I would have died. Why I stopped that? By using my psychic power for the time being, because my disciples have not yet attained the highest stage of sainthood, to teach them how to do that. Then he allowed the natural death to take place after 3 months. Because this body does not know that he is the Buddha. He said, I think I have repeated this more than 100 times. So one of the disciples who come and admire the beauty, the serenity, complexion, the features of the Buddha, then the Buddha asks, what are you doing here? You say, I admire your beauty, that gives me a lot of happiness. And then he uses his own wording like this. Kinte vakkali emina putikahena duggandena sariri. Vakkali, the disciple names of the disciple. Vakkali. What do you gain by watching this dirty, filthy, impermanent physical body? What do you gain? Nothing. You entertain your emotion. Oh, very beautiful, very nice, very soothing. That is emotional feeling. We never learn anything. We never gain any understanding. Now when you look at the Buddha image, oh, this image is beautiful, wonderful. We admire that the features, especially when Chinese erect a Buddha image, they say the face is very beautiful because the Chinese face is there in the Buddha. When Indians erect the image, they were very nice, better than the other one, because the Indian face is there. By knowing this, the Buddha said, don't depend on body. In fact, he did not encourage anybody to erect image. 500 years in India, there's no history to show that they have erected any image of the Buddha. They practice Buddhism without images. Today people cannot practice without images. You can make noise. So, this is very important. After giving this advice to disciples, the Buddha says, Yo dhammang passati, so mang passati. One who sees the Dhamma taught by me, through this Dharma you can see the real Buddha. Not the dirty, ugly body like this. The real Buddha you recall, you create the real Buddha into your mind through this Dhamma, that knowledge. Now when you understand these 5 points explained by the Buddha, then you gain some sort of confidence and understanding about the Buddha. Then you create the real Buddha in your mind. That is what the Buddha says. Don't depend on a person, personality cult, or gurus or masters. Don't depend on too much. Because you have no freedom to use your independent mind. Depend on your guru for everything. You must give freedom for your mind to think, to understand. People some say, oh, our guru says we cannot do this, our master says you cannot go there. It's a very childish statement. The Buddha says, don't depend on Buddha, saying Buddha says like this, therefore we cannot do this. You must understand why we should not do this. Why the Buddha said like this. So, every living being, every plant life, everything that exists, suffers from certain sicknesses. You can see how plant life suffers. Whether suffer or not, we can see sicknesses. Animals, humans, and we suffer more than all the others. Because our minds also create lots of sickness. Not only elements. Our craving, our attachment, our selfishness, our grudge, our jealousy, our anger, they are very strong in our mind. All those evil forces later create sickness. Worries, when you maintain your worries for a few years, turn into sickness. Fear, if you maintain for a long period, turn into sickness. There are living examples. Frustration, shock, tension, damage the body. Because the mind controls the life affects the body. We have to analyze. We cannot stop all these things. Praying to anybody, praying to any God or any Buddha. The Buddha says these things are natural. Then you go and ask the Buddha to stop your sickness. If Buddha had to suffer from sickness, how can he stop your sickness? It's fact. Don't become slaves to anybody, any guru or any teacher. That is why the Buddha wanted to make us to understand the nature of our existence. Therefore, there is no guarantee that some people say, we don't mind any other kind of sickness, but not this one. See, you cannot choose sicknesses. Because there are so many causes. Either the mind or the body or the element or environment create sicknesses. But if we can maintain healthy mind, we can avoid many sicknesses. Today people have too much stress, tension, competition, no peace, no time to relax. Later turn into sickness. Early death. Those who live on hill tribes, those who do not know anything about the modern way of life, they take natural food and they know the time to go to bed, the time to take food, the time to relax. Long life and not so many sicknesses. Now, I was in India nearly 50 years ago, staying in northern India. Majority of them, for thousands of years, for their generations, never taken any fish or meat or egg, never. generations. And we can see very easily with blood pressure, heart troubles, diabetes, cancer, and all these people are suffering today as very common sicknesses. Very, very rare among them. That means they lead natural way of life. Now animals, but we spoil cats and dogs, spoiling them, giving our own food, oily, spicy, salty, because animals are not used to eat these, they are poison today. But we feed, then poor animal had to suffer because of it. If we allow them to eat natural food, they do not suffer from this kind of... The animals in the jungle, they lead natural, normal life because they have their own food, their own medicine. They have chosen their... Every creature, every animal has chosen its own medicine. Now you can see cats and dogs. When they are sick, they don't know to eat, just sleep, then go out and eat some grass. Come back and vomit. Finished. Medicine they have taken. They have chosen their own medicine. We have gone beyond that natural way of life. Therefore, lots of sicknesses. In time to come, nobody knows what kind of sicknesses come to us. And no one can find out the cause. Therefore, the Buddha says you must concentrate. Although we are healthy, there is no guarantee that how long we can maintain this healthy life. Whether we are young or old, sicknesses appear. When we take this seriously, again, oh, this is my body, I suffer. Actually, I do not suffer. The body suffers. When I claim this is my body, then I suffer. If I think this is not my body, then I don't suffer. Now the Buddha, Arahanta, they have no craving, attachment towards this body. When sicknesses appear, they don't take seriously because they know this is not mine, this is not ours. I occupied this body, but this is not mine, not belong to me. I cannot control this. This is Dharma. Practicing means by realizing, understanding, to reduce worry. Then, third one. Marana dhammo mi maranang anatitoti avinnang pattivetti rabbana. This is the most dangerous thing. Marana. Death. Oh, don't talk about death. Very dangerous. Especially during New Year period, don't talk anything about death. But they can die during the New Year period, but they don't get to talk. We are pretending, behaving like small children. There must be a death. Otherwise life becomes nuisance. If this body remains without dying, what will happen to this world? There must be a death. It is a blessing. Why? When this one is going on decaying and rotten and collapse, we go there and build another new house. Instead of holding the rotten body as our life, we drop it here. After that people burn or bury. Only element there. There are nothing but elements, two elements. The life is gone. No connection with this body here. But we respect them. Because this is our father, our mother, our so-and-so, out of gratitude, we want to give due respect. That is our human thing. But from the religious point of view, there is nothing we can do with this body. Our feeling is such, oh, we want to give due credit, spend few $100,000, coffin at least $10,000 to burn. Why not to use this money to feed poor people who are suffering in the name of this person? You get the merit. It is very difficult people to understand this. 2 days ago I attended the funeral. An old lady died. They wanted to buy a coffin for $7,000 to burn. Then some people advised, don't spend so much. Finally they spent only $3,000. There were few educated monks in Sri Lanka. They have written in their last will what to do with their body when they die. Well-known scholars. They have written, after my death, you should not keep the body for more than 24 hours. Should not publish in the newspaper. Do not buy coffee. Carry the body with the bed in which he died and burn. After that, collect the ashes and throw wherever you like. Because in ashes there is no value at all. Only ashes. After that, publish in the newspaper. Because millions of people know him. So and so passed away. We cremated on such and such days, announced in the newspaper for people to know that he died. And some others, right, after my death, you cannot burn my body, you cannot bury my body. Hand over to the hospital. The medical students to study biology. By keeping this body, they can study so many things, make use of that body, without burning, without burial. But we have no courage to say that, because of our misunderstanding. Just now I mentioned, this is not my body. When I die, they can do anything whatever they like. Because nothing will happen to me. That word I also only concept. There is no person called I. When I want to talk, I use this word I. When I come and sit down with you, then I say we. The I is missing there. What happened to that I? We. When I go there, then is you. That I is missing there. These are the words we use to talk. In reality, there is no I, there is no you. These are only words. But how many people can understand this? So why we are scared of death? It is not actually that death is painful. I have seen so many people who died in front of me. They died very peacefully. But the fear of death appeared in the mind due to so many other reasons. First thing, we do not know what will happen to us after our death. That is the fear. Therefore, our duty is to prepare for the death, to die peacefully. That's called preparing for the death. Then without fear, without worrying, without crying, At any moment we can die. No worry, no fear. We have prepared. How to prepare? Amongst those 4 kinds of happiness that you have to develop, according to the Buddha, the last happiness is called anavajya sukha. Sukha, happiness. When you come to know that you have not harmed anybody, you have no guilty feeling in your mind, that is the way how to prepare for the day. Die with happiness. At the last moment, happiness appears in the mind. So we can die with smiling face. After our death, next existence or next life also never become a miserable one. Because we die with happiness and with cheerfulness, without fear, without worry. Anavajya sukha. But how many people prepare their life to die peacefully? Another reason. They have so much money in the bank, so many jewelries, so many properties, houses, land, business. How to die? How to die? What? Because he knows very well, he or she cannot carry anything. Cannot carry anything from the body, cannot carry anything what during our lifetime that we have collected. We drop everything here, go alone. That is why people are worried to die. Therefore, if you want to carry with us, instead of dumping, collecting, practice generosity, help, support others who need, who are suffering, who need our support. Then whatever we have given to others belong to us. Whatever remain here after our death not belong to us. We carry what we have given to others as merit. Then when we think, I have done so much good thing, can die peacefully. Then family members, my wife, how to die? My husband, my children, how to die? These are the problems we are facing. That is why we are scared to die. Otherwise, death is not a horrible thing. We should not care about death. But we have to worry about death. If we have done very bad, wicked, cruel thing, then we know after our death we have to suffer again. Worse than this life. Then we have to depart from this world with fear and worry. If we have done some good deed, help others, support others, by reducing anger, jealousy, enmity and all those rubbish from the mind, can die peacefully. After death, life never becomes miserable. Therefore, think of death. Then the fear of death disappears from the mind. Any moment, death can take place. Actually, living means struggling to avoid from the death. Otherwise, every minute, death comes and interrupts us. So we try to escape. While driving a motor car, while walking on the road, even while eating, try to avoid death. And taking medicine, and early morning get up and run. Run and run. To avoid death earlier. Otherwise, why would they want to run? All these things we are doing to avoid death. For avoid means prolong, not to die early, at least 2-3 hours, years to live. So, this concentration recommended by the Buddha to think of death. Some people say, oh, we should not think about death, we may die earlier. But according to the Buddha, when we think of this and concentrate and the fear of death reduced, can live long. Because the fear is not there, can live long. That is concentration. But we do not know, every second we are dying and reborn. When one thought appears in the mind, that thought goes up like waves, goes down like waves. Another thought appears, just like that waves come down, create another one to come up. Death and birth take place every second. End of every thought is a death. But before that is ended, create another thought. Then throughout our life, going on like this. When 17 times death takes place in our mind, only once death takes place in our physical body. 17 times we die in our mind. Then, once we die within that period, physically. That means, the scientifically, biologically, people already explain cells. They appear, disappear, appear, disappear, appear and die. Appear and die. Everything appear, disappear in the body. But the mind does it rapidly. But the elements and energies slowly. That's why I told you 17 times when death takes place in the mind, the body only 17, only once. When doctors examine our blood, our cells, and they say how long this thing can exist. Blood also like this. People say don't eat blood. If you do not do this, blood automatically dies. Cells always appear, disappear, appear, disappear. That is where existence takes place. But we never think in this way. Therefore, there is nothing for us to worry about death, but we have to prepare. Not to worry at that moment, not to suffer, not to suspect, but with hope and confidence, we can die if we prepare. Therefore, this concentration recommended by the Buddha is very important for us. Reduce the fear of death. Fourth one. Kammassakෝමි kammadāyādo kammayoni kammabandhu kammapatisarano kammang satte vibhajati adidang gīnappanna. Because these quotations that I give, for you to understand, these are the sayings of the Buddha, not our own or the disciples saying, the Buddha saying. The language spoken by the Buddha. Otherwise people can talk anything the Buddha says like this, without any reference, without any authenticity. We have to give the reason, the sources. Meaning, my whole life depends on my own karma. Either good karma or bad karma. If the whole life becomes a miserable one, very unfortunate one, my own karma is responsible for that. Neither God or devils or anybody else. My own karma. If my life is very peaceful, very pleasurable, very contented, my own karma is supporting me. If I have done bad karma, always interrupt me. If I have done good karma, always support me, protect me. So, within this lifetime, we spend our life by spending most of our karma that we have done during the previous last birth. While living here, enjoying or suffering, or spending the karma, we also accumulate fresh or new karma. No one can live without creating fresh karma. Whether they believe or not, whether they have religion or not, this is natural. How do we create karma? Irrespective of religion or belief, let us take normal human mind. Define. In our minds we have craving, attachment, anger, jealousy, selfishness, cruelty. In every human mind, whatever religion they practice, all these evil forces are there. No one is free from all this. On the other hand, whatever religion they have, kindness, compassion, honesty, sympathy, understanding, cooperation, unity, all these good qualities are also there in every human mind. Religious labels are not important for us. You can say, oh, we don't believe it. There is nothing to believe. These are natural. So, when we use bad thoughts, evil thoughts, say something, do something, then become bad karma. Natural. By using good thoughts that I mentioned, when we say something, when we do something, we create good karma. Belong to any religion, every human being. We cannot live even few minutes without creating either good karma or bad karma. Because the mind creates suddenly wickedness, cruelty, anger, hatred, then for nothing we create bad karma. Again mind creates kindness, sympathy and all the good qualities. We create good karma. Without doing anything, without saying anything, mind itself creates karma. Mental pollution or mental purity. Then by using that polluted mind, we say something very rough, very rude, very vulgar, very wicked, to hate others and insult others, accuse others, hurt others' feelings. Then we create bad karma by talking. On the other hand, by using our good thoughts, we talk to console others who are suffering, who are in fear, worry, fear of sicknesses or death, or insecurity, poverty. We say something to console them, reduce their fear and worry. We create good karma. You never think these things so seriously. Simply by talking either this way or that way, we create either good karma or bad karma. Then, the mind created greed, mind created generosity, mind created honesty, mind created crookedness, cunningness, selfishness. Then we do something, either good thing or bad thing. The action creates karma again. If they come through the bad thought, bad karma. If they come through the good thought, good karma. Religion is not important for us. This is the way how the Buddha has explained. Every human being. So, when we are leading very healthy, very prosperous, very peaceful, very enjoyable life, suddenly certain misfortune and collect everything. Either fire or blood or accident, if not some other disturbance. Collect everything. But we do not know the reason why. We say we are innocent, we have not done any harm to anybody, why we have to suffer like this? But we do not know what kinds of bad karma that we have committed earlier. Hidden karma had no chance to come forward to affect at any time when such karma come and topple. That is karma, our own karma. Again, some others are very poor, very pitiful, nothing to eat, no shelter. Suddenly, get something for them to get up and satisfy their life, gain happiness, confidence. Supportive karma, hidden supportive karma, come forward to support, get up. Our own karma. Our nature is we complain others, blame others. But we do not know what we have done. We are also responsible. That understanding must be there. Therefore, we should not neglect to do some good karma, accumulate some good karma for our journey, for our expenses. Good karma are important. Now you can see how people are suffering in certain countries. No food, no clothing, no shelter, no medicine, nothing. Why they were born in such places, such countries? Because of their own karma. It is not that God created them to suffer for nothing. Why in other parts of the world people are really enjoying their life? Because they spend their own karma. Let us take Princess Diana. What sort of good karma she had? How she enjoyed her life? The royal family. And what kind of death she had to face suddenly? Because destructive karma suddenly appears as flesh. Own karma. Whatever precaution we take, the time comes with that karma, no one can overcome it. That I have told you 4 times how I escaped this, even 1 week ago in Taiwan. 100% sure that I died there. If I was seated on the left side of the motor car, behind it, a lorry came and banged the glass. I saw very big piece come inside. If I seated there, either neck or the head, the glass, but I was seated the other way. Nothing has happened to me. That means my karma is strong enough to protect me, support me. Therefore, we must always create some good karma for our protection, for our living, for our happiness, so that without blaming others, we can maintain, we can carry on our way of life. So we have to understand this karma is responsible, not the God or the Buddha or anybody. Our own karma is responsible. Last time. Sabbe me piyehi manapehi nana bhavo vina bhavo te abhinnam patteti. This is another big problem. There are many things that we like so much. Attachment, love, affection as mine, my children, my husband, my wife, my family, my property. When the time comes, if something happens, to separate from my family members, from my property, then the suffering that appear in the mind at that time, intolerable. That is why some people commit suicide. They cannot tolerate. Due to the motor car accident, children, all of them died on the spot. How father and mother tolerate? Because separate. A young couple just got married. Either husband or wife died due to certain accident or some other sickness. Separate, cannot tolerate. And all my valuable property, jewelry, money taken away, or blood, destroyed, burned, separated from me. Cannot tolerate. So the advice given by the Buddha is this: forever you cannot keep them with you. Whether you like or not, one day you have to separate from them. If not earlier, after your death. Husband and wife separate, parents and children separate, property separate. If not earlier, after our death. Therefore, this understanding must be there. We cannot keep them forever, permanently, to carry on life after life. When you study previous birth stories of the Buddha, he has mentioned only 555. There are so many thousands, nobody knows. He says, the same husband and same wife and same children, life after life. But they must have lots of qualities, the karma, attachment, love, so many things to get together again. That is the secret. Now husband and wife develop their love and attachment very strong. Yes, but that is not enough for them to meet again in the next life. They have not enough good karma. They must have equal good karma, qualities, love, then get done like magnet. Pubbeva sannivāsena paccuppanna hitena evankam jayate premam uppalang vayatodati. Here, the same process. The love and attachment that we develop during our previous birth and supported by good karma, again get together just like magnets. That is why the Buddha, previous birth, same husband, same wife, same children. Then they can maintain their families without misunderstanding, without fighting, without quarreling, very peaceful life. In many cases, what is happening? Husband and wife are strangers. They have not met their previous birth. That is why they can agree with each other. Different mentality, different way of life. They have everything, but not happy. Because they are strangers. Now, if you can create some sort of aspiration, determination, by doing some meritorious deed, if you think, I like to have my same husband, my same wife, same children. If they also had same degree of good karma, that aspiration alone cannot do that. Then again they can get together. That is why in certain families, husband and wife, children are very peaceful, very cooperative, very understanding. So, other families, cats and dogs. Cannot agree with it. They have everything, but cannot agree. Sour face always, cannot talk, cannot look at face to face, they cannot talk. The wife prepare the food and eat, food is there when eat. What sort of happiness they have in their married life? People never think in this way. We can prepare if we know how to adjust our way of life. So I think these 5 points, just now I mentioned, no doubt you have overheard, but today I give more details. Our old age, decay, our sicknesses, our death, our own karma, and our separation from our beloved things are natural. Through this understanding, we can reduce our fear, worries, and disturbances in the mind. Thank you very much, sir. Okay, sharing merit. Imina punya kamena upajjaya gunottara achariyupakarate mata pita piya mama suriyo chandi maharaja gunavanta narapijja brahma maharaja indaja lokapalaja devata yamo nissa manusaja madhyata veripapita sabbe satta sukhi hontu punyani pasatani me sukhañca pidam dentu hippang papeta omatang imina punya kammena imina uddhidena ca hippang sulabhedeva tannupadana sedanam yedantani nadamma yava nibbana tomamam nattantu sabbadaeva yatta jato bhave bhave ujuditto satipanyo salleko viyavamina Maralabantu lokasam katunca viriyetu me buddhadi pavan Uttamo Mato Vacceka Sambuddho Sangho Nato Taro Mama Tesottamanubhavena Naropakam Labantu Ma